welcome to Bello and Chinetto. I'm Christina. I'm so glad that you're here with me today. If you're new, welcome in. If you're returning, welcome back. No matter how long you've been here, I always appreciate your time. If you are new here, I have gotten several new subscribers recently, so thank you so much. And if you haven't already, even if you're not new here, please click the bell, give me a thumbs up, and inside the bell, do the little all notification, like the completely filled in bell. And anytime that I post a video, a short, have a live, you will get notified. So I am excited. If you saw the thumbnail, this is a new segment on my channel. And before I get into the show part of it, I want to talk about a little bit about my inspiration for this. So I was looking for something different to put on my channel, and I was doing some research and looking at analytics and things like that, and I was like, I like to look things up. I like to research things. I like to find out information on things. That's something that I enjoy doing. So I thought, how can I tie in my love of crochet and yarn and research, right? I already have one series that I'm doing that researches fiber arts, but I was like, what about fiber arts on TV and movies? So I started looking at all of the people who have done this already, and there were a couple of people that I saw that did it multiple videos, so they kind of made a series out of it. But one of the things that I noticed was they either only focused on TV or movies, or they did only one-ish kind of fiber arts, or they did multiple things in one video. So if they talked about fiber arts in TV and movies, they might do 4, 5, 6 different shows in one video. So what I thought I could do was spin that a little bit and look at different shows, but maybe 1 or 2 at a time. So if there are shows that are similar, then maybe doing multiple of those, or maybe a genre. So I'm trying to find a niche in there that I can do. And I'm not going to limit myself to crochet or knit or anything like that. I have scoured the internet. I have been watching way more TV than I ever have probably in my life to see, do these shows and movies actually have things in them that not only show pieces like clothing, but at the actual action of doing those things. So that's kind of where I'm going. I will show some, of course, there are going to be TV shows that just have like a blanket on the couch, or maybe there's somebody's wearing a knitted or crochet garment. But I wanted to try to focus on people that are actually doing those things as much as possible. So before I go into what I'm going to talk about today, I would like for you to please, in the comments, put in any TV show, movie, anything like that that you know that either has examples like clothing, blankets, things like that, any kind of fiber arts. It could be weaving, it could be crochet, knitting, it could be tatting if you see it, it could be sewing, all kinds of things, right? So I want to get a wide range of that and do different episodes as it comes up. So you can give me, if you can give me the TV show and the episode, that would be super helpful. But also, I don't have things like Apple TV. So if it's on Apple TV, I would really need information on that because I have to go research it online because I don't have those kinds of streaming services. But I am really, really excited to do this. I have several things already lined up, so I'm excited to do all of that with you. Some of the inspiration that I found for the series in general was from Little John's Yarns. She has done 2, I think, videos on the crochet and knitting, like especially wearables, and some people actually doing it. There was one that she showed where she looked at, were these people actually doing it, or were they just like holding the yarn and looking like they did it? So that kind of got me thinking as I was watching her video about actually doing the craft in the TV show or the movie. So that is where some of the inspiration came from, and I'm going to talk about my other information in a little bit. So I hope that you enjoy this. I don't have a lot of clips of the TV shows. I do have some pictures and things like that, and I'll put those in. There's one clip that I do have for this one, and I'm trying to get clips of the other ones. It's just a little bit more difficult since I don't really have a lot of the examples for like streaming services. But it's okay. I can find them, and I'd love to know things that you found, and we can maybe do this together. We'll see. So today, I want to focus on a show called The Lincoln Lawyer. I have watched, actually, all 3 seasons of The Lincoln Lawyer when I was in the States this past summer. My very best friend that I stayed with in Texas, she was watching it, and she was watching season 2, I think, and I was like, what in the world is this? And she was like, oh, girl, you've got to watch this. Like, we have to do this. So we actually went back to the very beginning and binge watched all of season 1, and then got up to where she was in season 2, and then I went to the other places in the States, and then when I came back, we finished season 2. And then when season 3 came out, we've been messaging each other back and forth whenever we watch it so that we can watch them kind of together, at least within a day or 2 of each other, so that we can actually talk about it, which is rare for me TV watching, but I have actually seen all of the seasons so far of this show. So what was interesting to me was in season 3, was you see someone actually crocheting. Now, before that, you see people wearing crochet items. The one that wears the crochet items is usually Izzy, and she was the Lincoln Lawyer's driver for a while. But then in season 3, when Izzy is trying to work on her dance studio, the Lincoln Lawyer gets a new driver. And he gets this driver through a court case. And he gets him off of a carjacking case. He didn't do the carjacking. He was profiled because of someone thinking he was a valet. That's the word I'm looking for. So the guy throws in the keys, assuming that he's a valet because of his dress and his skin color and all of that. And then the Lincoln Lawyer gets him off of that, right? So he gets hired as the driver. Throughout the season 3, you see him doing different things and giving advice and learning and all of that. But then there was one episode where the Lincoln Lawyer gets into the backseat of the car, and Eddie, who is the new driver, is talking about crochet, and you can see him, and he says, oh, I've got to go, like, my boss is back, such and such, such and such. But he was actually doing a Twitch live stream teaching people how to crochet. And he was working on a scarf, specifically the Jasmine Stitch, and he names the stitch in the clip. And he turns around, the Lincoln Lawyer says, oh, you knit? And he goes, no, I crochet, it calms my mind, my grandmother taught me. And then later on, you see that the scarf that he was working on was in fact gifted, right? I'm not going to spoil any of the season for you. I'm just going to tell you that the thing that he is working on, right, does get actually gifted. So you see the project more than once. And then the two examples that I found of crochet items for Izzy, one was like a tank top, and the other one was a cardigan. So I will insert the clip here of the crochet Twitch live stream, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about the pictures and things.
You knit? Actually, I crochet. There's a big difference. And listen, mi abuela, it clears my mind.
Okay, so I hope that you were able to see and hear that clip all right. And now we're going to get to the pictures. So the first one is the tank top, and it's red and white and black. It kind of reminds me of a Granny Square, Granny Stitch, not Granny Square, tank top. And it is very beautiful, and it looks very warm and lovely. Sorry, I was just trying to, because you can see the picture on the screen, but I cannot because I'm recording this video. So I'm trying to get it up so I can see it while I'm talking. Then I can talk about it more thoroughly, maybe. Oh, there it is. Yes. So, or maybe it's a V-stitch. Maybe it's a V-stitch. But it has a really nice collar, and it looks very comfortable. And I think that it is, with the chevron pattern, it is very well done. So the next one for this series, let me find my folder. There it is. Uh-oh, there it is. So she has on a cardigan, and in the cardigan it looks like a multi-stitch cardigan, so you can see some bobbles, you can see some straight stitches, and it is in like brown tones, black and white. And I have not seen anything specifically like that recently, like in patterns and things, but if you've seen something like that, put the pattern that you think it might be in the comments below, and maybe we can check that out together. So this may have been a short, I was literally about to end the video, and then I don't know what I did. This may have been a short first segment, but I wanted to take the time to talk a little bit about some of the other things that have been done after the episode aired in The Lincoln Lawyer. There have been several people that have gotten very excited in the different social media platforms about the actual act of crocheting being seen on a popular TV show. And I don't know if I said this, but Lincoln Lawyer's on Netflix. I just thought about that. I didn't even say that. I'm so sorry. And one of the people that we all may know in the crochet world is Mikey from the Crochet Crowd. He has a blog post on the Stitch, the Jasmine Stitch, and he talks a little bit about the way that it was presented in, the way that it was presented in the TV show. And then he also has some tutorials on the Jasmine Stitch. So I'm going to link those. I did not find those while I was researching the crochet, knitting, and all of that on TV. But once I started looking at the show specifically, his information came up. So I did want to share the sources and the resources that I found to make this video, so that I'm being as transparent as possible and showing where I got some of my information. Now, I did not get specific information about the show from his post, but just to show you that he does have the tutorial out, and he does have a post about it actually being done on TV, right? So, with that, I hope that you have enjoyed the first episode of Fiber Arts on Screen, and let me know what you've seen that has any fiber arts in it. Now, this can be any sort of craft, like, I mean, even quilting, right? I don't have quilting on the screen, on the thumbnail, but it could be quilting, it could be tatting, it could be sewing, it could be knitting, crochet, weaving, anything, right? I want to look at it all. And then I want to take the time to go through and talk about specific things that we see in particular shows. Again, I may not have access to some of those, but I will try my hardest. And I've been talking about this with some of my friends, trying to think about ways that I could do it and what might work, and certainly not wanting to copy anyone, make it kind of my own, but also continue on with this lovely thread, pun intended, that we have found. So, anything that you have, please put it in the comments below. And like I said, I do have a couple of others because my friends and I have been talking, and since they know that I'm looking into it, they have been giving me things that they've found as they're watching shows as well, because some of them watch a lot more TV than I do, and some of them just listen to it because they like to have things on in the background, and that's completely fine. I don't have the TV going as often, although researching this, I have watched way more TV than I have in a long, long time. So I will go, and let me know what you think. As always, be the change you wish to see in the world, everyone. Ciao bella!